Hello, my name is Sophie. I am the host of Summit Country Music New Releases podcast, which is what you're watching at the moment. I also have a general podcast for interviews, which you can find elsewhere on YouTube or on the Summit Country Music channel, actually. If you are not a country music fan, I wonder how you found yourself here. But that's okay. You're here now. And if you stick around, you might become a country music fan because I'm going to tell you about some new Australian country music tracks which have been released over the past few weeks. Now, I keep playlists for each month on YouTube and Spotify, and they're non curated playlists. So I just collect everything that's been released that month. But it's from those playlists that I decide which songs I'm going to bring to you in these new releases episodes. So I have some songs to tell you about, and I think they're all great. That's why I'm telling you about them. The first one is by Rue Arcus, and it is called Lonesome for the Lone Star State. Rue has been in music for several decades, I think. Let me check my notes. 1998 is when he first broke onto the scene, and he was touring with Slim Dusty is how he came to recognition in Australia. So Rue has spent a bit of time in the United States, hence the title of that song, Lonesome for the Lone Star State. He has a fifth studio album coming up, and he's a lovely singer. So I think you will enjoy Lonesome for the Lone Star State. Lauren Ryan could be described as a country pop artist, but I tend to think there's now a genre that is Lauren Ryan country. She is carving out this distinctive sound that is very much hers. And when you hear a song, you know it's Lauren and you know it's going to be great. She just has this energy to her, this kind of grit that's going on. I just love everything about Lauren's musical persona. She's wonderful live. I've seen her perform in all sorts of venues and also outdoors, and yeah, she's got it. She's got it. So the latest track is called Bounty, and she describes it as being born from a sheer lack of anger management therapy. So if that sounds like your sort of song and you would like to hear someone great sing it, then you should listen to Bounty. I can recognize the voice of Melburnian Jay Santilli at about 100 paces. So put the playlist on shuffle, haven't heard the songs before, and a track comes on, and I know it's Jay. And that happened with this song, which is called Rewind. Just love her voice. And this song is a heartbreak anthem, which digs deep into the emotional loop of relationships that are hard to let go. It was written in Nashville with Noah Needleman and Morgan Johnston. And you can hear in the way Jay sings it that it's a heartbreaker. You don't necessarily need the words to tell you. And I think that's the mark of a great communicator, a great singer, that's what she can do. So Rewind by Jay Santilli. The Coonans are a father-daughter duo from Brisbane. I interviewed them earlier this year, I think it was. So Ken Coonan is the father, Lily Meyer Coonan is the daughter, and they have been making music together for long enough to have 3 albums out. The third was called Waiting for Lily, and it was released last year. And they just have a lovely song that is more folk than country, but you know, this is my show, so I can do what I like, really. You may have expected country music. Sorry to disappoint you if you're very strict about your boundaries there, but this is more folk, and it's lovely. It's called One Way Flight. It was written by Ken and sung by Lily Meyer, and Ken recorded and produced at home. Nathan May is an artist from Adelaide, originally from Darwin, which is where he grew up. So his latest song, Darwin Son, is about his childhood. It's about growing up in Darwin, surrounded by broken down cars and the daily grind, while celebrating the magical beauty of the place and the parents who gave him the best life possible despite the challenges. It was written with Kevin Bennett, one of Australian music's great collaborators, and James Gillard, and it was recorded by James as producer at Rod McCormack's music cellar on the central coast of New South Wales. It has Laurie Minson on harmonica as well. Laurie's well known to quite a few country music fans. So I'm fond of saying that Nathan could sing the phone book and make it sound good, and I stand by that. And I think you will too once you hear Darwin Son. Brooke Schubert is known for her really dynamic country rock tracks, and she has this great big voice, fantastic voice, and I love her normal sound. Her latest single, What Next, is quite different and really beautiful. It was written by Graham Connors, whom you may know. Graham is one of Australia's most highly regarded songwriters and also a recording artist in his own right. And this is a song that he brought to Brooke because they've known each other since she was 10. And as she says, he's got a lot of sons, and I'm the musical problem daughter that he never had. So I think you will really love What Next. It's quite memorable actually. And Brooke has an album called After Midnight being released on August the 8th. Catherine Britt and Lachlan Bryan are very well known artists in their own right, and since they formed the Pleasures a little while ago, they have become even better known as a duo and hopefully reaching new audiences because I think they deserve to have the broadest audiences possible for their solo music and for their combined music. So, the Pleasures as a duo was Catherine's idea. They told me this when I interviewed them close to the start of this whole musical venture for them. Live, they are phenomenal. It's just something that happens with those two on stage and their band members, Damien Caffarella and Bradley Bergen. It's just, I run out of superlatives to describe it. And they do have some live shows coming up, I believe. So do go and check them out. In the meantime, they are preparing for the release of their second album, Enemy of My Enemy. And they have a brand new single called Was It Something I Said? And it's trademark Pleasures because it's about the push and pull of relationships, but they just also keep coming up with different things with each song. I don't think there's a Pleasures sound in terms of how they write songs. There is in terms of how they sing them together because they have really recognizable singing voices. But yeah, they're such an interesting duo. So I do recommend that you go and seek out everything that they have released. I'm fond of calling Lynn Votel a national treasure because I think she is. She's an artist from the Central Coast of New South Wales. She is also the director of the Academy of Country Music. She is one of our great singers, one of the world's great singers. Her musical influences include Ella Fitzgerald and Karen Carpenter, as she told me when I interviewed her earlier this year. And you could hear that in her voice. And I think she's equally as good as those singers, actually. Big call to make, I know. And Lynn, I think, would not own that herself because she's a very humble artist, but she's phenomenal. And she has a new song called I Don't Want to Stay. Now, this is an unusual single for her because it reunites her with her Bella bandmates, Kate Ballantyne and Karen O'Shea. So, Lynn was in the trio Bella towards the start of her career. She wrote the song with Kate at one of her songwriting retreats, the She songwriting retreats that she runs from time to time. If you are a songwriter and interested in going to one of those, you can find the details on Lynn's website. And in the meantime, please enjoy I Don't Want to Stay by Lynn. And she's working towards a new album release and she has some live shows going on at the moment. So do go and see her live. It will just really make your whole month, if not year. Last mention for today is Nathan Lamont. Now, I did a deep dive interview with Nathan a few weeks ago. It's a couple of hours long. It is really worth your time. He has quite a personal story, which is why I wanted to talk to him at length, because in the usual structure of an interview that's about music, we don't have time to go in depth with people's personal stories. We have to focus on the music. I wanted to hear more from him, and he was prepared to speak about it. And yeah, it's a really powerful couple of hours. I was mainly just listening and deeply impressed by the man he is and also by the artist he has become. I really loved his first single, Drink You Up, when it was released and have loved every song since. I'm completely biased when it comes to Nathan, Nathan's music, because I think he's a wonderful singer apart from anything else. And his new single is called What Comes After. It's released ahead of him going to Nashville for Americana Fest in a few weeks' time because he is the recipient, the First Nations recipient of the CMAA Sister Cities Nashville Exchange. And Nathan's got some festival appearances coming up. He's been playing quite a lot lately, which is terrific. He is from Wagga Wagga in New South Wales, so he would have to get in the car and travel quite a way to some of these festivals, but worth it for him, I hope, and definitely for the audiences. So that's it for this episode of New Releases from Sunburn Country Music. Again, my name is Sophie. Thank you for being here. I'm getting a bit tired because I've done like multiple takes of this because it's not straightforward for me to just talk to camera as opposed to interview someone. But I'm persisting because I want to bring this music to you. Thank you for persisting with me. And I hope you go off and listen to all those songs and love them as much as I do. Bye.